continue visiting the places you used to go with your partner when you were lovers, it's a trigger. Would you like to slowly change your lifestyle? Accept if you're grieving, a relationship has gone. Let us accept it. Grieve it, as painful as it is. And sometimes these relationships end up so badly. They end up so ugly. And you're like, how comes they left me for that? How comes they were cheating on me? How comes ABCD? And so that pain is what I want you to go with it. Face that pain head on. Tell it, come pain, come. I'm gonna deal with you. So this is the kind of a person I was dealing with painfully. Hello, people of purpose. My name is Mercy Wanjeri, a licensed clinical psychologist here in Nairobi, Kenya. And I would like us to look at various things, and that is the topic that I prepared for you today. And the topic is how to overcome a relationship breakup. I do not know whether you've come from it, or you are in it, or you had it, and how and what happened when you did it. So today, I would like to introduce to you some tips, some ways to overcome this relationship breakup. Let us start by saying, what is this relationship breakup? This is where there is a relationship between people. They have been having a romantic relationship. Maybe it was courtship, maybe it was dating, and all of a sudden, or with time, you realize that your spouse or your partner is not your fit. And what happened? This is the time where there is a breakup. And before a breakup, maybe there were some disagreements. Maybe you were not comfortable with your partner. Maybe they had some behaviors that were not in sync with you. And that is where a breakup comes. It could be you caused it or he caused it. Or both of you said, let us separate, let us go our ways because things are not aligning. That is what we're talking about today. And so, what happens during this time when now the relationship is going? What happens this time when we feel like we can't move on? A breakup comes in. There are so many factors that affect a breakup. I've already talked about them. So what happens in that feeling? By the way, how did you, or how do you think you would feel when there's a breakup in your relationship, in your love relationship? Is it a painful thing? I tend to believe yes, it is a painful thing. So this brings a lot of sadness. It brings a lot of memories that really trigger you all the time. There's a feeling of rejection. What happened to me? Why did this happen? Where is my partner? What are they intending to do? So this feeling of sadness takes you into shifts, takes you into places whereby you cannot move. Even going to the bathroom becomes a problem. Even eating becomes a problem. Even going to places that you used to go together becomes a problem. Even calling them. You want to call, you don't want to call. You want to WhatsApp, you don't want to WhatsApp. You want to write something, and then something tells you no, because there is a tug of war. You're wondering, what are you going to do? By the way, there's a lot of disbelief. You cannot believe that there's a breakup. Have you been there? And you're wondering, what am I going to do? There's a breakup already. Is this a breakup for real, or am I in dreamland? I would like you to know, these are the things that happen to a person who is going through breakup. I've seen people who are not able even to do anything, even going to work. They cannot even manage concentrating because their emotions are up and down. They're crying, a lot of horrifying things, sadness, fear. And so, tell me, how long can you be in that state? That is affecting your work. It is affecting your emotions. It is affecting your feeding. It is affecting your sleep. It is affecting your personality. Your self-esteem is going down. What are we going to do? So tip number 1, I would like you to accept where you are. Please accept. If you're grieving, A relationship has gone. Let us accept it. Grieve it, as painful as it is. And sometimes these relationships end up so badly. They end up so ugly. And you're like, how comes they left me for that? How comes they were cheating on me? How comes A, B, C, D? And so that pain is what I want you to go with it. Face that pain head on. Tell it, come pain, come. I'm gonna deal with you. So this is the kind of a person I was dealing with painfully. If they left you, or if you loved them so much, again, they decided to leave me, to leave you, please accept the feeling. Because the moment you stop, the moment you fight that feeling, it continues to pressure you. It continues to prove to you you are the one who was on the wrong. Acceptance, number one. Number two, feel the pain. I've already talked about that. Feel the pain. Pain is good. Acceptance is good. That is what I want you to do. What else are you supposed to do? Please engage. Tip number 3, engage in activities. What do you love? As you're still grieving the lost relationship, can you go for swimming? Can you go for a hobby? Can you play volleyball? Can you play tennis? Can you start an instrument? Can you sing? What can you do so that you don't feel drained? Look at you. Are you feeling drained wherever you are? That is a feeling. How can you overcome that feeling? Go somewhere out, dress up, whatever. If you want to wear sporty, well and good. If you want to go for a walk, well and good. If you want to do something indoors, well and good. But that rumination of that person, the trigger, the smell, the smiles, the way they used to do things for you, they are a reminder. And so what's my message? Grieve the lost relationship, accept the pain, feel the pain. Again, what else? Start doing something. Going out, not with other people who will start maladaptive behaviors, but doing something for yourself. Start attracting yourself. Start loving yourself. Start saving for the best of yourself in terms of emotions. Start investing in yourself. What am I saying? Maybe that's the time you can just say, okay, let me buy for myself a shoe, a pair of shoes, to remind me I'm grieving about this lost relationship. Let me change my hairstyle. Let me put color on my hair. Let me change my dressing code. Let me visit places that I didn't used to visit. Because if you continue visiting the places you used to go with your partner when you were lovers, it's a trigger. Would you like to slowly change your lifestyle? And by the way, tip number 4, would you like to stay where you are instead of rushing, seeing jamas, seeing girls, seeing handsome men, and you want them? Would you like, first of all, to just work on yourself? Work on yourself. What do you mean work on yourself? That's the time you can go to school, go back to school. You can learn something new. You can as well become somebody else that you didn't know, because that is change. Remember, you were this, now you are that. You used to love somebody, that person is no longer there. What happens? Are you going to still stay in that position? No, it's time to change. Please be somebody else. Why am I saying this? Because I'm coming to another tip. I've seen people who are not able to change themselves and they make the same mistakes. But for us, we are going to change so that we don't form the pattern. We look at the other side. And which is this side? Tip number 5, which is once you work on yourself, you're going to meet different people who will be attracted to you, or you will be attracted to them. What about that? And do you know what? They'll find somebody else. And let me put a disclaimer here. You see, I've seen people who say these people from a certain region or these people from this kind of a profession, they ain't good lovers. This is a disclaimer. Everybody is unique. If somebody from a certain profession gave you a breakup, doesn't mean that when you date the same person, no, when you date people in that profession will give you a breakup. So let us not generalize things. That was just a mistake for that side. That does not mean there's a generalization. And so people of purpose, what am I saying? I'm saying that if somebody who was tall, dark, and handsome gave you a breakup, rejected you, cheated on you, ghosted you, does not mean when you find a black, tall, handsome man will do the same. People are different. And so what am I saying? Work on yourself. And by the way, as I finish, this is my message for today, that a breakup is very painful. A breakup is something that nobody would love to have. But once it comes, you're going to look at those tips that we've looked at so that you can able to dust yourself and move on. And so my challenge for you today is, would you like to stay in the moment? Would you like to feel the pain? Would you like to give yourself time? Would you like to give yourself compassion? Would you like to love yourself first? Would you like to invest in yourself? Would you like to take time before you rush to another relationship? And lastly, would you like personal growth so that you become a new person? Please, that and much more is what is a breakup and how you can manage it.